talking with Florida Tech athletic trainer Nigel Maven, who is in his second year working on staff here at Florida Tech. And in addition to your job here working with the Panthers, you have a second career of your own on the side. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm also a sponsored bodybuilder, which means out throughout the year I compete in various locations around the U.S., and I pertain to a very strict diet to help me reach those goals. Well, when I'm not actually working, I'm focusing on my diet and my bodybuilding training. So a lot of meal prep and a lot of prioritizing which muscles get trained on which day.
How did this come about?
Actually, one day in undergrad, I was just cutting grass on like a huge John Deere mower, and I got a phone call. And that phone call was a sponsor company saying that they had heard my name through a friend of the gym, and they wanted to sponsor me to try my first show. So that's kind of what got me into it. Before that, all I knew is it was like guys in Speedos and things like that. Yeah, I think being an active athlete myself and putting my body through training and dieting every day and traveling for competition, the same thing that some of my athletes have to go through. I think when I give them advice, they understand that this guy goes through it too. He's kind of in the same boat, so they're a little bit more connected by understanding, hey, his back hurts too, he runs too, right? So we're kind of in the same boat there, and I think that just brings us a little closer.
What's the biggest lesson that you've taken from bodybuilding?
And I feel like bodybuilding shows you that if you do something long enough, you get results, right? Like a lot of things in life we do, the results take so long that people give up before they see the end result. But with bodybuilding, I feel like if you train off for 3 to 4 weeks, you start to see those changes. So it puts the changes in more perspective, like, hey, this is achievable. And once you do other things in life, you understand I just got to stick it out and the gains will be shown. Everyone thinks everyone's supposed to be very, very big, right? And there's a lot of categories. So yes, a lot of bodybuilders are big, but there's also some 150-pound bodybuilder who's the best in the world at that class, right? So it's not all about huge muscles. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's symmetry, presentation, and actually just the off-season and how you bring that whole package together. The biggest misconception is everyone you see is not supposed to be huge. Not all the women are supposed to be huge. It's more of a what category you in is how you should present yourself.
How many athletes have talked to you about, hey, I see what you're doing. This might be something that I want to do after I'm done, or hey, I might need this just for, just some extra strength for what I'm about to do. How many have approached you, and what would be your response to that?
Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. My main and first response is always, we want to focus on sport-specific exercise, right? So if you're a soccer player or a lacrosse player, bodybuilding exercises may not help you in your sport, right? And then I also teach them that being a college athlete is the great foundation for when you're done. Then the muscle memory and the muscles you've built will be ready to bodybuild. That'd be great. But I think for every collegiate athlete should focus on sport-specific exercise so they can excel in the sport they're training for.
How do you budget all your time for all that? Because you're here a lot. You're here at practices. You're here for games, and you're assigned a lot of sports. How do you make that work?
It's tough, but it's just a dedication thing, right? My life really consists of two things: athletic training and bodybuilding. So if one's not going on, the other is. And if you ask my athletes, there's times where we're on the road for 3 days at a time, and they'll see that I do my cardio before team practice, right? Or after the meet, I'll do a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock gym session because it's got to get done, right? So the athlete always comes first, and any spare hour I get, that's where I got to get my grit in and get it done.
What's the most important thing for someone who's watching this and thinking, I need to get in better shape, maybe that's something I want to do? What's the one thing you would absolutely tell them above it all?
Well, you want to do it safely and you want to start slowly, right? Just like some of our great athletes, they've been playing these sports for 10 or 13 years, right? You didn't get to Florida Tech as your first day of soccer or men's basketball. So if you do want to take this road, it's a day at a time, right? No one's going to change overnight. There's no magic diet or supplement out there. It's just about the day in and day out of reaching for that goal that you want to achieve.
Lastly, you've been here at Florida Tech for about a year now. What have been your first impressions of the place, and what do you like about it?
The thing I love most about Florida Tech is it's a very welcoming place. I haven't met one person on campus who hasn't welcomed me with open arms, and that goes all the way from administration down to every student athlete that I've met here.
Nigel, thanks for joining us, and best of luck with your bodybuilding on the side.
Thank you.